Hey guys, it's Scott here from AnimeBlurayUK, and today I'll be unboxing the Collector's Edition Blu-ray release of the Heroic Legend of Arslan Series 1 Part 1, which is being released into the UK via Universal Pictures. So this particular set will be available as a Collector's Edition DVD or Collector's Edition Blu-ray, and today I'll be unboxing the Blu-ray version of it, as, you know, that's the whole point of this site and YouTube channel. But in any event, let's get straight to it. So to start off with, it comes in a chipboard art box, similar design to what Seraph of the End Series 1 Part 1 was released in, and the front cover for this particular art box has all of the main characters featured in this first half of the series, such as Arslan, Darian, Narcissus, Farangis and Give. The front cover, pretty much simplistic design with the text for the series, as well as the logos related to the Blu-ray, the BBSC and the Universal Pictures logo. Moving to the bottom of the box, we've got the audio and subtitle options. So we've got 5.1 DTS English surround sound, as well as French, German and Japanese audio, all in stereo with English subtitles as well as relevant country subtitles available. Moving on to the spine, we have the Universal logo as well as a selection of logos for the different armies that are in the series itself. And then on the other side of the spine, we have the Heroic Legend of Arslan Season 1 Part 1 information logo with the Universal logo at the top, which looks very similar to the Seraph of the End Series 1 Part 1 released at Universal previously released. So if you did decide to get both parts, in a sense both Heroic Legend of Arslan and Seraph of the End, you could put them side by side and, you know, they'd look quite similar. So it's nice to see that Universal are doing some form of continuity across their Collector's Edition Blu-ray sets. Moving on to the back of the box, we have a information sheet whereby we get the synopsis of what to expect from the Heroic Legend of Arslan, as well as the contents of what we can expect from this Collector's Edition release, which we'll get onto that in a bit. It's then got a list of bonus features, so we have the short comedy, which is about 20 minutes long. We have music clips, which are actually the textless opening and closing songs, Japanese trailers, and then Japanese TV spots. Now, underneath that, there is a lot of grey writing on top of black background, so it is quite hard to see, even without recording on the camera. And what is interesting, though, is that all of the text there is the information about who directed that particular episode or who wrote the script for that particular episode. So it's like a list of all the episodes that are contained within this release, which is 13 episodes, and who wrote it, who directed it, who animated the script, and so forth. You know, a lot of information that we don't usually get on a traditional Blu-ray release by Anime Limited, Sentai Filmworks, Animatsu, Manga Entertainment, and so forth. So it's quite a unique trend there that Universal Pictures are setting. Now, as you can see, this is a top-loading Collector's Edition Blu-ray release, so a bit like Space Dandy's release by Anime Limited, all of the contents come from the top, which I know quite a few people aren't too happy with. I mean, personally, it doesn't really bother me that much. I mean, it did with Space Dandy because Season 1 was top-loading and Season 2 was side-loading, I believe it is. I might be wrong, I'm not % sure. I never actually got around to getting Season 2 of Space Dandy. But at least Universal Pictures are, you know, following their continuity set by their previous release of Seraph of the End. Now that we've got the cellophane off, you can see a closer look at the spine and the side and the front cover. Now, if we move the information sheet out the way, we get the traditional promotional image of Arslan and Darian, which, to be fair, is my favourite piece of artwork from the Heroic Legend of Arslan. So it's nice that Universal have managed to keep that in check. But in any event, once we've finished looking around the actual outer packaging and got the cellophane off, we can then move the chipboard art box to the side for a moment and then see the real fabulous pieces of this collector's set, which are, of course, the physical content, or bonus physical content, and the disc content itself. Now, just like with Seraph of the End Season 1 Part 1, the discs come in a carded digipack design, whereby each side of the pack features some artwork. There's also a spine, but oddly enough, there's no information about, you know, what's inside of it. It's just blank, which is a bit weird. And then once we do open it, we are welcome to 2 Blu-ray discs, episodes 1 to 6 or episode 1 to 7 on the first disc, and then the remaining episodes 7 to 13 or 8 to 13 on the second disc. Both of which have got some pretty cool artwork on. And yet again, they follow the same pattern and standard layout that Universal use for all of their Blu-ray releases. So all of those logos that you'll see, that and the big massive Blu-ray logo at the bottom, that is their standard design that they must adhere to as a company. So there's no getting rid of that. They will always be there on any Universal release. But behind the discs, we've got some more artwork, one featuring the Silver Mask and I think Daryun sword clashing, and then another with Daryun, Narcissus and Arslan, along with a donkey, I believe it is, which is quite a jokey piece of artwork, so it's nice to see that included. Moving away from the disc content and presentation and packaging, we then have the first piece of the collector's edition content, which is the character cards. Now, a bit like with Seraph of the End, these character cards, of which there are 4 of, will feature a different character and a bit of stats about them. So what country they originated from, the hair colour, the name, the origin, things like that. Information that you wouldn't necessarily know, without looking it up. So it's quite cool that these are included. And as you can see, we've got character art cards for Arslan, Daryun, Thorngis, and Give. Pretty puzzled as to why Narcissus isn't included, because I prefer him over Give any day, but a bit disappointed he's not included, but that may be included in the second release, which hopefully isn't too far off. Now, moving away from that, we then have the visual guide, or the art book, or the information booklet, or however you'd like to pronounce it. Whatever you like to call it, however you like to pronounce it, it is filled to the brim with information. I believe it's about 80 pages or so, 80 to 134. Can't remember the exact amount of pages that's included. But each page features character artwork, stenciled in artwork, information about the show, information about the process of creating that particular scene. There's lots of information in here, pretty much exactly the same information as what we saw in Seraph of the End Season 1 Part 1, but a lot more information than what you'd usually come to expect from an anime release, and in a sense puts Anime Limited's release to shame, whereby they just have images of the characters and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot to look at. So if you finish watching the series, or if you don't want to watch the series just yet, you could dive straight into the book, and you could spend a good couple hours having a look at all the character artwork and so forth. In addition to the visual book and the character cards, we then have the poster, which is a double-sided poster. One side is a map of the world, and then the other side is like a chessboard game. And then you use these carded pieces that also come separately with the collector's set to play the actual game. Now, I believe that particular game is also featured in the anime series itself. It's like strategic warfare. So if you've got 2 people who enjoy the show, you could, sit down and have a game. I can't see any rules anywhere, so I'm not sure what the rules are or if it's explained anywhere online, but still pretty cool that Universal decided to include that, as that's something that you never think of seeing in a anime DVD or Blu-ray release. Now, the final piece of the collector's edition set are these character artwork styled postcards, character artwork postcards, however you want to call them. They are quite big, the same size as a normal Blu-ray case in a sense, and they feature a variety of different artwork, some designed properly, some a bit more comical. In a sense, it shows you the wide range of artwork that is used within the particular series that is Heroic Legend of Arslan that we have here. So that's pretty much a rundown of what you can expect from the Heroic Legend of Arslan Season 1 Part 1 Collector's Edition if you decide to get the Blu-ray release. And all of the content seen here now then goes inside this wonderful presented art box. So now that we've unboxed the contents of the Heroic Legend of Arslan Season 1 Part 1 Collector's Edition Blu-ray, it's time to take a look at the disc content. Now, before you get to the main menu on the first Blu-ray disc, or any Blu-ray disc really, of this particular series, you'll get brought up with an audio option whereby you can pick your audio language. Of course, we're going to go for English because we want to watch it in English dub. And then once you press that, you get taken to the main menu, which is what we have here. Now, it's in a similar fashion to the Seraph of the End, whereby the button, which is a house on the left hand side, takes you to the main home screen, whereby you then get to pick the audio language of your choice. We then have the triangle, which is the play all button. We then have the square, which brings up the episode lists, which, as you can see here, has 6 episodes on this first Blu-ray disc. The star, or sun if you'd like to call it that, is where all the bonus features are. So the bonus features make up of trailers, which are the Japanese promotional trailers used to promote the upcoming release of the series on Japanese TV. We have the Japanese TV spots, which in a sense promote the series when it was being aired on Japanese TV. And then we have music clips. Now, music clips are actually the textless opening and closing songs. And what's really weird is that the textless opening and closing songs from the second half, or Season 1 Part 2 of The Heroic Legend of Arslan, are also included. So if you do decide to watch these, be prepared, you may see some spoilers. I do find it a rather odd choice that Universal would include bonus features from the second half of the series, but in any event it's here, so we'll just have to make do with it. Moving along the menu, we then have the audio options, which are Japanese, English, French and German, and for whatever purpose they are in their native text. So Japanese is in the Japanese kanji, English is written as English, French is written as Francais, and German is written as Deutsch. So the next and final option is the subtitle option, which as you can see is English, French, German and Netherlands. Should also point out that the subtitle option only reflects the subtitles for the language being spoken. So if you want to change translation text, you'll have to do that while watching the episode itself. Moving on to the second Blu-ray disc of The Heroic Legend of Arslan, we're welcomed with the same menu layout and presentation as the first disc. So we have sort of a side scrolling going on, whereby we have all of the main characters featured within this first half of the series present on the screen. But in terms of episode content, we have episodes 7 to 13, which brings us to the halfway point of the first season, all the way across. We then have, in terms of bonus content, the short comedy, which the short comedy is a selection of mini shorts or mini episodes of about a minute or 45 seconds in length that relate to the episode that they were originally from. So the first short is based on events that happened in episode 1, the second short is based on events that happened in episode 2, and so forth. Majority of the shorts put a lighter spin on things and are really funny, but they are only available in Japanese with English subtitles, or Japanese with your native subtitle option. Moving on, we then have the audio options and subtitle options, which as you saw from the previous disc are exactly the same layout and presentation. So that's what you can expect from The Heroic Legend of Arslan Season 1 Part 1, which is now available on DVD and Blu-ray.